And welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm your host, Melanie Streeper. Right now, joining me in the studio is Bev Riola from the St. Louis Breast Cancer Foundation. And it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we have lots to talk about. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you.
So first off, tell me a little bit of information about the Breast Cancer Coalition. What do you do? How long have you been around?
The St. Louis Breast Cancer Coalition's been around for just about 20 years now, and we're an advocacy network. And what we focus on is trying to end breast cancer by doing three things. One would be to encourage advocate and peer-reviewed research. Two would be to provide education to the community, and three would be to support healthcare, quality healthcare for everyone.
And what are some of the ways that you help to educate the community? Is it through early screening and detection, or?
Well, I think more of what we do is related to, we have educational events every year. We're going to talk about one of them later in our meeting. But we have educational events. We also have what we call an alert network. So if somebody signs up for our alert network, then we keep them abreast of all the latest developments on what's going on, whether it's legislation or funding for research, or it's something brand new that's a controversy going on out there about breast cancer.
So these alerts that people can sign up for, I guess they're free of charge?
Oh yeah, the alerts are free of charge.
Is it like an email? Is it a
It's
newsletter?
an email. It's an email. We try to keep our costs down low, so email is the way we go with it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know there's other organizations that are around locally and on a national scale. How are you different from those that help to educate people about breast cancer?
Well, I think what we do is we focus more on kind of global issues and legislative issues rather than on the specifics for the individual. One of our folks, there are lots of great organizations out there, Komen and a number of others, that help provide a ton of service in the community. That's not what we do. What we try to do is educate people about some of the controversies in breast cancer, some of the legislation out there that impacts breast cancer, and how people can be involved at the grassroots level to get into the fight.
Well, how can people be involved?
Well, one of the things is to get involved with our network, and then often it's calling your legislators in Washington or sending them emails. We have a petition drive right now going on that for our 2020 deadline to end breast cancer. And what that is that we think that if we focus our research very carefully on some very specific areas, one would be to focus on prevention, whether that's a vaccine, and the other one would be on preventing or stopping metastasis. That's the spread of the disease to other parts of the body, your bones, your lungs, your brain. And if we can do that, if we can focus on those two things, women will stop dying of breast cancer. And what's happened is that, I'm a 13-year survivor. Well, 20 years ago, we had, 40 women die a day of breast cancer. Now we have maybe 38. Okay, we haven't made a lot of progress in terms of that. And so what we're trying to do is kind of the same thing that they did with Go to the Moon. Focus everything on one set of targets, and then we can see where we can go. Okay. Now our bodies are a lot more complex, believe it or not, than going to the moon, because we have lots of different ways that our bodies and cancer can manipulate around and do things. Once we find one way to stop it, it finds another way to get around it.
Gotcha. Well, stay with us because you've given us some useful information. And coming up, I want to talk about an event that you have coming up.
Thank you.
So Bev is going to stay with us through the break, and so should you. Coming up next, we will talk about an educational dinner event with the St. Louis Breast Cancer Coalition. That's coming up later this month. You know, STL TV is on Facebook and Twitter. You can find us there for behind-the-scenes photos and program updates. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. All of our programming, including this show, is online so you can watch it over and over again. And you can also get the latest updates and watch us streaming live on stltv.net. If you're a fan of our great local shows, tell your friends. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more STL TV Live right after this.